The PS4 is an excellent gaming console, if for no other reason than its unmatched library of first-party exclusives. But with the PS5 on the horizon, is the pseudo 4K machine worth the upgrade from the base PS4? Or worth the purchase period if you don't own a PS4. Hi everyone, and welcome to Penny Voxel. Bullfrogs don't sleep, and today I want to ask the question, is the PS4 Pro worth its $400 price tag in 2019? If you like what you see and hear, give a like. If you don't, that's alright. And if you want to see more gaming videos like this one, and not like this one, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Now, if you don't already own a PS4 of any kind, then I'll just be frank with you. The answer is yes. The PS5 is coming, yes, but it's not coming tomorrow. The library of games from the past 2 years alone that can only be played on PlayStation makes it a truly remarkable and unique system. Spider-Man, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, the Shadow of the Colossus remake. And that doesn't even scratch the surface. You will get plenty of mileage out of your PS4 before the launch of the PS5. It isn't even really a question. But why the PS4 and not the less expensive PS4 Slim? Or if you own a PS4 Slim or base model, why upgrade? The performance and resolution boosts are arguably negligible compared to the difference between the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. I contemplated these questions constantly in the weeks leading up to my PS4 Pro purchase just last month. And while I already owned an entry-line PS4 myself, I found that both of these questions, whether to buy or whether to upgrade, can be answered using the same line of logic. It all comes down to one thing: backwards compatibility. I don't mean PS3 backwards compatibility, I'm talking about the future of backwards compatibility. The PlayStation 5 may be backwards compatible with the PS4, or it may not. It also might come out in 2019 or in 2022. The future is uncertain, yet we want to know whether our purchase will be made obsolete very soon. But the truth is, it doesn't really matter, and I want to explain why. The library of games available on the PS4 is phenomenal, as it's been said. The games still lined up for release on the current gen console are also phenomenal. So phenomenal that more than any console to come before it, I want to continue to have access to these games well into the life cycle of the PS5, possibly forever. So keeping the value of your purchase over time and the legacy of the PS4 in mind, let's consider all the future possibilities and determine whether your PS4 Pro purchase now will be regrettable or not years down the line. Let's first imagine a world where the PS5 is not backwards compatible. Is it an unlikely future? Probably. Based on research Sony has been conducting into an automatic upresing process, backwards compatibility software built into the PS5 could effectively remaster any current gen games and make them look even better than they do on the PS4 Pro now. But let's assume for the moment that that isn't happening, because for all we know, it isn't. If backwards compatibility is not available next generation, then you'll need a system to play your phenomenal PS4 games on. If I'm gonna play these games for years to come, then I would like to know that I'm playing them in the best possible way on the PS4 Pro. Sure, the upgrades between most PS4 and PS4 Pro enhanced titles are difficult to spot, but they're there, and if a product is going to die out, I want to know that I'm at least left stuck with the greatest version of it there was. I want to know that my PS4 games could not look or perform better than they do when I'm playing them in a year or 3 or 10. The same logic stands if you don't currently own a PS4. Why buy a Slim when there is a chance that this is the last PS4 game playing machine you'll ever own? But what about the opposite potentiality? What if backwards compatibility happens, and what if PS4 games look even better on the PS5 than they do on the PS4 Pro? Would it not be a waste when we upgrade to a new console in 2019? Or aren't the $100 extra $30 spent if I don't currently own a PS4 a waste when I could just get the cheaper Slim and play the same games in 1080p while I waited out for the PS5? Well, not necessarily. Let's say backwards compatibility is the future and you don't own a PS4. You're stuck deciding between a $300 PS4 Slim and a $400 PS4 Pro. Right now, the trade-in value for the PS4 Pro at GameStop is $200. Meanwhile, the trade-in value for a PS4 Slim, also 1TB, is $130. That's a $70 difference. Chances are, when the PS5 comes out, that difference will be the same, even if the value of each system drops. In other words, in the long run, you only actually save $30 by buying a PS4 Slim over a PS4 Pro. If that doesn't make sense, I'll explain it another way. Spend $400 on a PS4 Pro now, get an estimated $200 back later, so you've only spent $200 on the PS4 Pro ultimately. Alternatively, spend $300 on a PS4 Slim now, trade it in down the line for $130, and you spent $170 in the long run. Again, even if the values go down, they will likely go down in tandem, and the difference between $170 spent and $200 spent is only $30. That is to say, assuming backwards compatibility in the future, I see no good reason to get the Slim over the Pro, and that isn't even taking into account all of the technical ways the Pro outperforms the Slim. So those were a couple scenarios, but if you're like me, you're probably most interested in the final hypothetical situation. You own a PS4 and you don't know whether to upgrade to a PS4 Pro while assuming that the PS5 will be able to play all your PS4 games at least as well as the PS4 Pro does. To that, I simply say this. Once again, the trade-in value of the PS4 Pro will outmatch your current system when it comes time to get the PS5, likely by around $70, maybe less, maybe more. So let's say you take advantage of one of GameStop's frequent exchange deals and get $180 for your current PS4 right now in exchange for a PS4 Pro. I'm basing this on the deal I got just last month. That means you're spending $220 on your PS4 Pro. Then imagine you'll trade in that PS4 Pro for around $200, probably even more if it's a direct exchange when the PS5 launches. That's at least $200 back on your $220 purchase, so that roughly cancels out the cost of your PS4 Pro, leaving you ultimately just with the cost of the PS5 in its entirety, plus, fine, those maybe $20 extra. If you keep your current PS4 and wait until the PS5 launches, and then you trade it in for the $130 it will hopefully still be worth, then you're spending the cost of the PS5 in its entirety minus $130. Therefore, taking trade-ins into account, you're spending $150 more getting the PS4 Pro now versus waiting for the PS5. That is, yes, a definitely significant number and a sense of loss only you can grapple with and determine the importance of. But also bear in mind that if you were planning to get Kingdom Hearts 3 anyway, then you can take $60 out of that $130, leaving you closer to a $90 difference. And this is only under the assumption that the PS5 is backwards compatible. So really, what you're doing is you're gambling $90, betting on the odds of backwards compatibility, but you end up with a PS4 Pro in the meantime regardless. So let's break down what we've just covered and make suggestions for each one as to whether the PS4 Pro is worth it in 2019. 4 situations. 1. You don't own a PS4 and the PS5 is not backwards compatible. In this case, I suggest you do it because your PS4 games will look as good as possible for years down the line. Situation number 2, you do own a PS4 and the PS5 is not backwards compatible. In this case, I suggest yes again under the same logic. Situation number 3, you don't own a PS4 and the PS5 is backwards compatible. In this situation, I vote yes because the extra money spent on your PS4 Pro over the Slim will be negligible. And situation 4, you do currently own a PS4 and the PS5 is backwards compatible. I would suggest yes, having done it myself, knowing I was gambling $90 in the process. I personally bought the Red Dead Redemption 2 bundle, saving me those $60 like you might with the KH3 bundle. But those are your approximate stakes. $90. Bear in mind, of course, none of this takes sales tax into consideration, and if this affects you as it did me, be sure to check out my other video on how I avoided sales tax at GameStop. It's linked in the description below and can also be found directly on my channel. Now, of course, not all of these calculations will necessarily hold true as we get closer to the PS5's launch, but when it does launch, I will personally be happy to know that A, I've been playing my PS4 games in their best possible environment. B, I won't feel pressure to buy a PS4 Pro later in addition to the PS5 if the PS5 is not backwards compatible. And C, that I will own a system of decent value that can be used towards the bulk of the PS5's cost, even if I did lose money between now and that future date overall. But those are my thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours. Did you find this analysis helpful? Are there additional factors unique to your situation that I have not covered? Let's have a conversation in the comments section. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help support the channel, and hit that bell icon to get notified every time a new video drops. Also, due to holiday obligations and so on, there unfortunately won't be a regular Gaming in the News segment today, but I'll be sure to make it up to all of you with a really great new year of awesome content. As always, this is Penny Voxel. Thank you and good day.